Hello, everybody, and welcome to Zelda Speedruns 2 for a GSR match of Ocarina of Time. Here in the booth, I have Quick Kyron, however it's pronounced here.
Kieran. All right, welcome everybody. Exciting round 2 GSR race. We have MikamiHero coming in at the 9th seed, and he won his right to be here in round 2, facing off against Judogerudo, seeded at 8th. So this is, I believe, the tightest seed matching we have so far. You can see their PBs extraordinarily close. Only about 15 seconds different in PBs, and some of best is pretty close as well. So I'm expecting a really good match. So what are we watching today? What's going on? This is the GSR tournament. So GSR stands for Ganondorf Source Requirement. So we're going to see our runners beat The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time using some glitches, but not the super major ones. We're not going to be wrong warping anywhere. We're not going to be generating items out of nowhere using Ace or any of those fancy new glitches. We're just going to do the bare minimum that the game sort of checks for to beat the game. So in order to do that, we want to beat Ganon. In order to beat Ganon, we want to beat Ganondorf, and that requires 3 things. The light arrows, which take magic to fire, and getting to Ganon's castle, which requires spawning the Rainbow Bridge. Now, you're supposed to get all 5 adult medallions from the dungeons, plus the light medallion for going adult, but it turns out that the developers only check for the spirit and shadow medallions, because in order to get the shadow medallion casually, you have to get the other 3. And so we're going to take advantage of that by doing some sequence breaks and get to the Shadow Temple early. Just do those 2 temples. We'll stop off quickly to pick up the bow in Forest Temple and then go right to Ganondorf and then on to Ganon. And you'll see both runners running the Japanese version of the game. Text is just a little bit faster on Japanese, so nearly every speedrun you see will be done on the Japanese version of the game. And there's one more difference, big difference between these 2 runners that we're going to see, which is Mikami is playing on the Virtual Console version of the game on the Wii, and Judogerudo is playing on the original N64 using Japanese cartridge. So why the 2 different versions? Well, this category, one of the best parts about this category, in my opinion, is there are 2 very different routes that use version-specific glitches. So the 1.0 route is only available on the Nintendo 64 console, so that's what Judo's using. And I'll point out a couple of the special tricks that he gets to use. Mikami is using the 1.2 version, but it's running on the Wii, so he gets a lot of lag reduction and a couple places where that's going to be a big benefit for him. So we are out of the intro. We're going to start seeing our differences. Mikami's going to go get the sword and the shield like you would typically, but Judo's just going to skip that entirely. And then we'll see both players collecting some rupees. And it looks like Judo is just going to go for 1 Deku Stick and some Deku Nuts. And that's all he's going to need to make it out of the forest. There are a couple different routing options for this very first child section. And it looks like Judo's going to go for the slightly safer option, which is going to use a glitch called Walking While Talking to walk right past the guard that's blocking the exit. And actually, I believe, despite his really top-tier time, that Judo actually goes for this trick in his PB as well. There's a slightly faster trick that is not considered very race-safe, called West Escape, where you break your stick. You buy a second stick and break it to gain enough speed to push past the guard. But Judo actually doesn't go for that and still has a really good time. One of a couple strats I noticed watching his PB. So he is a master at this walking while talking escape. Meanwhile, Mikami has gotten the sword, picking up a couple more rupees so that he can buy a shield. And then we'll see what technique he goes for on escape. So here is the walking while talking glitch. You'll notice the camera stays stuck on this sign, but Judo's actually navigating over to the exit. And since the camera can't see the guard, he's not even there. He's not loaded. And so Judo is out with a 456 escape. That is very good for walking while talking escape. Mikami going for the West escape, much safer with the sword. Don't have to break your sword, obviously, to use it. Doesn't quite get it, unfortunately, and so he's going to go ahead and do a backup. Still plenty fast enough. He's going to clip right through this Kokiri guard. And then use ISG. There we go, talking to him. So now he's on the other side, rolls right past him, and both of our runners are out of Kokiri Forest in under 6 minutes, skipping the Deku Tree entirely. So Judo will not get a sword until he picks up the Master Sword. The entire child section he will do without a sword, which sounds very impressive until you see how short the child section really is. So both players getting the ocarina now. Oh no. Well, looks like maybe Judo had a freeze or a crash or something. It's very uncommon on N64. But yeah, that is a big issue. I don't know what's happened there. We'll see if we can figure out what's going on with the runners. Potentially restart this race, because that is a really unheard of accident to happen so early on. And I'm not entirely sure of the protocol here. Looks like at the moment, Judo has just restarted. And it's going to play on. Okay, there's another restart from Judo, which makes me think. Yeah, okay. So we're going to have both players reset, try again. Not entirely sure what happened to Judo's console there. There's a well-known issue with the virtual console, with Mikami's console, that very occasionally will cause a crash out of nowhere, and they're very unpredictable. But on the N64, that is a rare sight. We already have a very exciting start to this race. So we're going to get both players set up here again, and then we'll give this another go. See Judo deleting that file. Not because he had any save data there, but man, when your whole console crashes, that file feels pretty cursed. Makes a lot of sense to me that setting up a new one there.